Join us in here as we are going to get another hefty dose of hash browns here, as he has sent us a second replay here, and we are finally going to get to see some Zerg for our re-entry back into checking out the StarCraft 2 world. So we are going to get a little PVZ here in the bottom left-hand corner. Is Hashbrowns playing as our Protoss. And in the top left corner, as my quail welcome everybody, we have Stoggs. Stoggs will be playing as the Red Zerg. PVZ, probably one of my favorite matchups to watch, so this should be exciting, or at least it was back in the day. We're going to get out his standard ass spawning pool, and meanwhile Hashbrowns is going to drop down onto his natural and put himself a little bit of a pylon there. Shall see how everything is going here. What is new anyways? Had some good hockey going with our club team there last night, playing NHL 25. Anybody that does play that on PS5, hit me up and maybe we'll get you into our club there. We play usually on Friday, Saturday nights, and yeah, that's kind of our go-to. What do we got going here? We got an extractor. We got a spotted pool. Still, second extractor. Lots of workers. He's going pretty good. Down here in Imagine a Gateway. Yes, sir. And yeah, not a lot going on for scouting. Everybody's just kind of sitting on the outside of their base there, make sure nothing goes on. What is this arrow thing? Can you jump with that? Oh, that's for you. That's just a normal cliff to jump off of. Never mind. I was going to think that looks brand new to me. Maybe it just helps identify certain small gapped areas you can jump into. Let's see what Zerg's got. I haven't seen Zerg play for eons here. I kind of wonder what's new with their strats, or what kind of maybe new units they might have now that I have not seen. Both these guys seem to be at a pretty hefty standstill here. Hashbrowns, I think, is taking a nap. He's got 560, 570, 590. There we go. He's spending some money now. There we go. He's awake again. All right, Cybercore is down here. Maybe he was waiting for some gas or something. I'm not too sure. Maybe while down here we are going to probably get an expansion off. Either that, or he's making himself the most... he's making himself a bubble, so he knows where everything is around him. Not a terrible move. But in the meantime, we are just gonna, yeah, clickety-clack and sit back here. See when one of these guys want to figure out what their plan is here. Nobody's gonna pressure anybody. Everybody's pretty relaxed. We do have a queen. He's got 4 Zerglings out. He could drop himself down those creep. Maybe spread some creep out or something like that. Get himself a expansion. I'm not too sure. He is doing that thing there where the queen spits on this thing. I think it gives it other eggs or something. I'm not too sure. Somebody will have to inform me of that. There's a couple more overlords. He definitely not going to fall behind the food count now. He gets his food count up there. And we are going to go into a layer. So that will be kind of nice for him. Hashbrowns, in the meantime, is walling off here 100%. Oh, he's got a low gap there. Perfect. He can fit through there, I guess. And, yeah, looks like we're going into a Adept. So the Adept's going to be the scout move, I would imagine. There's our expansion as expected over here. So he's going to give himself a second hatchery down now that he has his layer technology. And what's he going to do with it? We're going to... Is that a Nidus Canal building? Oh, it's a Hydralisk den. It tells me right there. There you go. I know it was one of the two. Oh, he's got himself a Hydralisk den coming down here. Either of them have any sort of scouting information on each other, so they're both going to hope for the best and hope their opponent doesn't bother them while they tech up into their strategy here. So there we go with our Hydralisk den. We are going to start seeing some Hydralisks hit the field here, I would imagine, pretty quick. He's got some Zerglings to go along with them. And we are getting some Zerg speed as well. I believe that's Zerg speed. I'm not entirely sure how to tell. I really don't know. I just have to learn that icon. I'm pretty sure that's Zerg speed, though. Hashbrowns, he's saving for something again. He's got 1,200 bucks in the bank. Not a lot of units. We are finally going into some Stargate technology here. Twilight Council's going down as well. Lots of buying to spend. He could drop an expansion down here with that money. Maybe another starport or a robo facility, or he could do whatever he wants. He can afford every building. Well, at least once anyways. He can afford the most expensive building. Queen is now down there. So he got himself a couple queens now. Does have himself an overseer as well. Get himself a little bit of a variety of an army happening over here. And there he is. I believe that's range for your Hydralisks. It gives you +1 to range. And down here we are getting our warp gate technology. Warp gate technology. We are on 1 gate, probably 2, 3, 4. There's 4 gates coming down here. He is maxed out on both of his gases as well. No expansion out of Hashbrowns at this time being, I guess. Meanwhile, we have quite a bit of an army happening down here. Hashbrowns has it pretty good walled off. He's got to get some units in there. He's got some adepts. Can they defend everything the other guy has coming up right now? I think he'd be in a lot of trouble, but he wanted to go. But he does have a void brace, so that will help, although the Hydralisk might fend that off pretty quick. And he might do a little bit of scouting with that void brace, so he's going to find out what his opponent has. Meanwhile, Stoggs is doing 0 scouting, and he's sitting back, just building. Overcapped on his workers up here. You got to fix that. Got to transport some of them down to your expansion. And there we go. Hashbrown's going to do a little bit of flying around, check out a few of these different mineral fields, make sure he is aware if his opponent is around him. Doing small. It doesn't look like he's moving out to a big scout. There he goes. You want to be comfortable to know that he can expand. And now, now he will go around the map here and hopefully get some more information. Hopefully at some point Stoggs decides to get out here. Even, I mean, as a Zerg, you should always easy scouting. Right off the bat, you have your Overlord to start scouting. Or even send a couple of these dogs here, Zerglings, are expendable, but he's not doing either. He's just banking that he's going to straight up build what he wants and hope that it counters whatever his opponent has. He's going in the Spire now, so we can see a little bit of Hydralisk slash Muta happening here. Getting some good scouting here now. It looks like Hashbrowns has decided to really commit to scouting and figure out where his opponent is. He is dropping the proxy down there. So we'll have a pylon down here. And should basically... yeah, I guess that he has either seen, and I might have missed it, knowing that his opponent is at this corner of the map, or he just luckily dropped that pylon right by his opponent's base. I don't know, we'll find out here. Holy shoot, this is that's an interesting army. We are pure adepts down here. Pure adepts. We do have our void rays, but yeah, that is some straight up adept action here. And once again, Hashbrown just flying around. He's trying to see something. Another proxy going down there. And wow, look at this. I don't think, I'm sure it's been done before, but I don't think I've seen that many adepts move out in one army. That is a lot of adepts. Holy shoot. Well, let's see what's going to happen. He's warping in more down here, and they're all adepts. This is insane with his void ray. I mean, his army should be able to do it. Yeah, we're going to find out. Let's see when he pushes in here. Hopefully he doesn't wait too long. Otherwise, his opponent's going to have a bunch of Muta. Then he's going to be in big trouble. His opponent doesn't have a ton of money, fortunate for Hashbrowns. But Stoggs still has no idea what's going on. He hasn't gone anywhere to see what's going on. So, I mean, he's going to be in for he's going to be in for a bit of a surprise that he's not going to like. Because now we're getting some Stalkers. And now we're going to, if there is any Muta, we're going to be able to deal with that Muta quite easily. There's the Muta coming out now. He's got his Corruptors out as well, so that'll definitely help when he goes to town on the Void Rays here. Well, let's see who's going to make that first push into the base here. Either way, I'd still like to see at least Stoggs push something out here. He's got these little ugly looking. What the hell are these things? Man, maybe these are one of the new units I've never... What are these? Oh, those are your changelings. I got you. Yes, have seen them before. That is super cool. There he goes, random zealots. This is how he's going to scout. It's a good way to scout. You know, especially, you never know. Hashbrowns might see all these zealots coming back to base, but Hashbrowns has to know he doesn't have zealots. So if you start seeing the zealots standing in your base, you're going to be wondering, hey, wait a minute, I don't have zealots. Here we go. The push is going to happen. They're pushing back. Where are those Corruptors getting in? Those Corruptors got to get in there and, do something. At least start there with those Corruptors there. Get rid of those Void Rays. That's your biggest concern. Get your dogs surrounding those Adepts. Once you can get your Mutas in there with hopefully surviving all the air, get rid of that last Void Ray. And he does. There you go. Okay. And he is going to stay up there. Is that the best move at this point? Yeah, he is going to stay up there. He's going to do a bit more action on the ground. You should be able to clean up the last Hydralisk. Of course, all those Overseers aren't going to do nothing now. Yeah, this is not good. He's going to go to town on this base quite easily. He's bringing in some more Adepts. The Adept army is deadly. Holy shoot. These things can do some damage. And it does look like Stoggs is probably not going to come out of this. He's going to have to give in. Unless he's... Oh, he is going. He's still sticking with the Hydras. Pounding the Hydras out there. They're doing good. They're actually going to town. And they're taking out these Adepts quite easily. They may end up cleaning up most of this. But 4 more are coming in here. That's going to be a lot of trouble for him. He's got a lot more on the ground down here. But he also has a bunch of Hydras down here. They're going to try and clean up the Stalkers. There is an Oracle down there as well. Oracle does have energy. He could come in there and do some sort of damage for him. He's continuing with the Hydras though. He's still popping out. Hydras are fairly cheap, which is really good. And yeah, he's managed to clean up Hashbrowns. Not too shabby, and he's still got quite a few of his drones going to town here. Well, not too bad. It put a stop here because Hashbrowns now doesn't have a lot going on. Look at Hashbrowns sitting on 36 supply. So I don't know if that drained his morale or what, but he's, let's see what he decides to do. He's going to go Dark Shrine. We're going to see some Dark Templars come out here. This could be interesting. This could be very interesting. Not a terrible move, but he had to see the Overseers, and the Overseers can, I believe they detect that stuff. So as long as he gets a few of them back onto the field, he's going to be all right. But yeah, let's end up seeing what happens here. They're both going to reback her up here, and they're going to hopefully see Stoggs go into something. We already know we're going to see Darks from Hashbrowns. Hashbrowns has way too much money. He should be pounding gateways coming out of his yin-yang if he wants to commit to the Darks going in there. You know, maybe drop 4 more gateways down there and even expand another time if you want to. It's almost 2,000 minerals and 1,500 gas. He just doesn't have the supply or the buildings to keep up with that if he wanted to. You know, he'd have to queue up 5 at a time or something to maintain that. He is going back to another Void Ray. And like I said, I got a good feeling a lot of his resources are going to go into the Dark Templars. We are really committed to these Hydras, and these Hydras are pretty decent at ripping apart ground units. So if he does come in with Darkies, they could go to town on them. They shoot pretty fast, and they got good range on them. If you macro them properly, you could fend off a good army of Dark Templars there. Well, either way here, he's going to keep him in his base. Nothing down here for Stoggs, though. I mean, yeah, as you can see here, Hashbrowns is free to expand wherever he wants. He literally can do anything because his opponent isn't scouting anything. You could go another expansion in the bottom corner, be running on 4 base to your opponent's 2. And as a Zerg this deep into the game, you should have at least 3 to 4 bases. You know, you would think, unless you had some sort of real teched up army. There we go, even doubled up on the spires. And we are going to upgrade like crazy. Upgrades are coming out here, so he is going to try and get that going, which is very smart of him. Is he going to stick? He's just going to go pure, yes, pure Hydras is his plan. So he's going to hopefully, yeah, he's going to keep it basic. So he doesn't have to think too much about unit compilation. He's going to go straight up with his Hydras. Not entirely sure, but he's got way too many workers up here, which isn't very good. I mean, you got 26 on, you only need 8. And yeah, he should be dropping something down. Get some more expansions going. Otherwise, you're going to watch Hashbrowns just take off on him. At the same time, Hashbrowns is definitely out mining them. And has way more bases, but he's just not spending. He needs some more production buildings here. He should be dropping 8 to 12 Darks at a time if he wants. But yeah. Either way, it looks like Hashbrowns is falling behind as far as unit count goes. But at the same time, when you drop a boatload of Darks down there, they could eliminate that Zerg army fairly quickly, especially since it's all ground. So barring some good micro, and if you have good micro and a ton of Hydralists, you can clean up the Darkies. But I don't know if he does have that. I don't know if that is in his repertoire, but we hopefully will find out soon. And there he goes with the Overseer. So that's what he needs. That and the Hydras, and that should put a stop to any Dark Templar push. There we go. There's the extra 4 gateways coming down. Now you're sitting on a pretty good gateway count. And he does have his three Stargates going as well here, so that's going to help him build a pretty big air army. That's yeah, that's somewhat scary, you know. And now Hashbrowns can see that as he's cleaning up his pylons. He should be dropping expansion down immediately down here. Yeah, he's got a lot going on there now. Well, at least at the very least, there, Hashbrowns has to know. Okay, he went pretty Hydra heavy. You don't see much else. You know, he put quite a bit into his Hydras. He is now expanding one more time, and like I say, this is just. Unfortunately, due to the lack of scouting from Stoggs, it's allowing Hashbrowns to build wherever he wants. I mean, this is the most scouting he's done, is down into his 3rd. So, I mean, shoot, that's perfect. 4 base on 2. Just puts a wall ahead, and finally, Hashbrowns has spent all his money here. So now we will see that supply count go up as well, which is good. We also have some Archons. He's getting a deadly unit compilation happening here. I'm still not sure if we've seen any Dark Templars come down here. Doesn't. Oh, there we go. Are those the ones right there? Those are the ones right there. Now we are seeing some Darks come down. All right. Could be getting good here. He is moving his army out to our changelings anyways. What are these guys going to turn into this time? Let's see. They're going to come down and do his little bit of scouting. Not entirely sure. We'll find out. Don't know what he's going to get out of this. He's going to get in there, and yeah, I don't know if he's going to find out anything other than the fact that Protoss is teched right up now. They got every building they need now. There they are. Changelings are stuck at the front entrance. And, yeah, continues to make Zealot changelings. So, like I say, his opponent 100% knows. I haven't built one Zealot this entire map. These are obviously guys that are not on my team. And I don't like them here. And their changelings finally die off there. But it gave him that information. He can now see there's lots of starports. There's Archons up there. There's Void Rays up there. Now, what do you do? What do you do from there? I'm not sure what your best counter is. But it could be a lot of Muta/Hydra. That's not a terrible compilation. And yeah, it's starting to look like a pretty deadly army. I wish this expansion had come down 2 minutes ago. But let's find out where it does go from here. And yeah, still expanding like crazy. There we go. Hashbrowns using that money now, which is doing very good with that. His supply count is catching up. And in my opinion, yeah, it's with the compilation that Hashbrowns has, I would say that it's probably going to outdo this army. I'm not entirely sure though. I really don't. I just think, yeah, because really those Darks aren't going to do a lot with the Overseers in there. Those Hydras are going to pin them down pretty quick. And yeah, Darks don't have a lot of hit points. You know, they have 80 shield, 40 on your actual hit points. So, I mean, they could melt pretty quick. At the same time, if he doesn't focus them properly, his Hydras there, the Darks do so much damage that they could shred through his army fairly quickly. So it will be very interesting. They both might get up to 200 for all we know. But in the end, if that does happen, we know who's going to be out ahead. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 base to 3 base. And not a lot of high-end technology. But he does have all his upgrades, which is good. Like, these guys should be spreading out through the map so you know what's going on here. But yeah, he's got a lot of his upgrades down here, does Stoggs. So that's going to be very beneficial to him. He is finally upgrading this into, I can't remember what the furthest upgraded thing is there. But he's going to get full technology now as far as the Stoggs goes. Down at the other end here, look at that. Just upgrades 2s and 3s and holy shoot, good for him. But down here, what are we looking at? Oh, it doesn't really tell me what he has for upgrades, and I'm not sure how to tell. Like I said, I got to play around with these buttons a bit more and figure out all that stuff here, how I see that. Look at that 2-5 base on Protoss is very scary no matter who you are. And yeah, he's catching up. They're almost both up to 200 now. We're at 161 to 172. And looks like we're still staying the game. He's got a lot of corruptors, so he's expecting a lot of error. These things are great at taking out error. And yeah, so he's got, if Hashbrowns had committed straight to an air army, I think we would have been in a lot of trouble. The fact he's mixed in the Darkies, he's got a couple Archons in there, I think he might be looking all right. Where did he end up sending all his Darks or his Archons off to? Are they underneath with this army here? I don't see them anywhere. Oh, here they are, stuck in the corner. Oh, shit. He needs... I think they can get out of there. I don't think they're super stuck, but he's finally built enough production building. You're on 5 base. You should have so much that you could rebuild your army in a heartbeat. And he is going to go pretty heavy into the voids here, which isn't a terrible idea, but at the same time, Stoggs has the counter for it right now. So it's going to make it trouble, but it'll be interesting to see how fast these Darks rip through the ground army, because if they start ripping through the Hydras, he's in big trouble. So this should be a pretty good battle. It's going to be pretty close. It's going to depend on positioning a lot of it too. Who's ever getting the best position is usually going to do the best. So as long as these Hydras don't get funneled off or stuck anywhere, it should be a pretty even battle. And like I say, both of them have upgrades like crazy, which is good. So we will see that. There's the carriers coming down. That could be trouble. But yeah, this should be quite interesting. We'll see. He's got these two are stuck here for sure. He's got to get himself a warp prism in there. I don't think these guys can get out at all. There's another one. Holy shoot, carrier like crazy. Now he's getting those expansions out. I hope it's not too little too late. I mean, we're almost at the 20-minute mark by the time we hit our 4th base for Zerg, which is pretty far behind. There he sees that expansion there, or the pylon, the proxy down there, takes out that. Very well done there. But it does show, shows Hashbrowns how many Hydras he has, and that's a lot of Hydras. So it should put a little bit of fear in there, but yeah, it depends on the microing. And when you bring the mothership in there, and if you get up to those Hydras before any of the Overseers are over there, he's in big trouble. Do these motherships, they cloak your army still? I thought they did. Maybe they don't no more. It just doesn't look like his army is cloaked. But yeah, even that without the vision and getting the Darkies in there, he's going to be in big trouble. Army's going to split. This could be helpful. Oh, I wish he had took that engagement, because those voids would have been in trouble, I think. And now that he's got everything else in there, I don't know. It's really going to depend on the micro. He can't see the Darkies, and this is what I was afraid of. They will shred that Hydralisk army like they're not even there. And that's going to eliminate the ground army. Now he can send him in just to clean up everything if he wants in the main base. That is unfortunate, and they might be too much anyways. Yeah, this Protoss army was just way too much. Wasn't anywhere near as close as I thought it was going to be. I think if the Overseers were over there earlier, it would have been a little bit closer. But yeah, holy shoot, did Hashbrowns in that Protoss army rip him a new one in the end. Well, wonderful game, guys. I don't know if I'll get another one up before the end of the day, but I might go into playing a little bit here. So you guys all take care. Be good.